It's lifted. Are you sure? Like, no, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you positive? Don't play with me. Like, no mask. Like, no mask? Like, none. Like, at all airports, or just like on the airplane too? When I got the email, I was like, relax, because they might retract that tomorrow. They might retract that in like 1 hour, because like the company needs change, you know? So I was just like, just wait a minute, right? I'm sitting there, and then I was like out and about, and like there was like a TV screen, and it had the news on, and it said mask mandate lifted, like not required in the airport. I was like, wow. 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 This is like a new chapter of my flight attendant career. Like, I've started this job wearing a mask, and now I'm not wearing a mask. Like, the announcements will never be the same. Y'all, I know the mask announcement by heart. Like, you may briefly remove your mask while eating or drinking. Briefly, now there's no mask. Like, what? That's crazy. I thought this was gonna be like the thing to wear a mask forever. So I'm definitely shocked, but nonetheless, we have a lot to talk about. So first, we're gonna get into day 1 of not wearing a mask, going to work and how that was. And also, I'm on a 4-day trip. This is day 2, and I'm tired, okay? But before we get into that, I did want to show you guys the room, okay? They put us in the Ritz-Carlton, so hashtag blessed. I'm actually gonna give you guys a room tour really quickly, so I will put that right here. Please tell me why the bed looks like that when I have not even touched it. Like, let me know in the comments, because what's up one of these covers? Who been on the bed? I don't know. This room is given very much crime scene, hooker, hookup, Bates Motel-esque, you know. The interior design, not sure what we're doing with these pictures of trains. Then we have the bottled toilet water, also known as Dasani. If you think all water tastes the same, good night. Like, I don't have nothing else to say. Good night. Next, we're in the restroom. You know, standard. Interior designer must have just given up at this point with these basic pictures. Make sure you're taking your toiletries to the homeless shelter. And then we have the tub, which they didn't drain all the way, but you know, who cares at this point? Okay, so yeah, that was the room. 5 stars, right? Right. Yeah. Anyways, what is the next topic on at hand? The mask mandate, yes. Okay, so the mask mandate was lifted April 18th, 2022. I'm still shocked, but anyways, so, and I don't know how long this is gonna go, so we just gonna ride this wave until Miss Rona decides to kill some people off, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure, because that's the thing that's a little bit confusing. I'm like, if we don't have to wear masks, what are you saying? Like, Is Miss Rona, did she disappear? Are you saying everyone should be immune to her? Or y'all just don't care? Or y'all just tired of the mask, so it's just like, whatever, you on your own? That's what I'm trying to figure out, but it's also just not that deep. It is deep, but you see how the media is now making it not that deep? You know what I'm saying? Like, Miss Rona is definitely here. She's still here. I'm not a doctor, so I really don't even care, whatever. Next, so I come to work and I already feel like I'm missing something. I'm like, ooh, where's my mask? And I'm like, oh my God, we don't need it. So it initially just felt like I was forgetting something and I need to wear my mask. But then when I walked into the airport and no one had their mask on, I was like, where are y'all masks at? Like, it's such a big adjustment because you're so used to seeing people with their mask that when you don't see it on, it's like, what's going on? Like, everybody's just breaking the rules. So that was kind of like weird. Nonetheless, everybody was really happy. I feel like passengers were way more friendly. And I don't know if it was mixed between we're happy because we don't have to wear a mask, or we're just, I don't know, or we're just happy in general, because this whole time I couldn't see anyone's faces. So I was just seeing the top half. But yeah, I feel like overall everyone is nicer, or has like a pleasant attitude. What else? There were like, I did have full flights, and I do feel like there was at least 2 to 4 people who were wearing their masks like per flight. So it's optional, so you can wear it if you want to, but you don't have to. So the majority of people are not wearing their masks. With that being said, since the mask mandate is lifted, that means it is time to invest a little bit of on-the-go Listerine pocket strips, okay? Invest in a sonic toothbrush, invest in the toothpaste, dental care, all that stuff, because now you're really about to be sitting in somebody's face asking them, what would you like to drink? What would you like to eat? Like, and you need to be looking and smelling and all that. You need to be up to par. So it's no excuses. You had 2 years to get whatever you need to get together. So yeah. What else? So on my trip, I am working with a new flight attendant who just finished training, and it was nothing wrong. I'm not even about to play her. It was nothing wrong, but you know, just bless her heart, because you know, it was just giving newbie vibes. That's all, just newbie vibes. And it's like, I've been here for a year now, so I'm pretty sure I may have been doing the same things. I don't know, it was so long ago. But yeah, you can always tell when somebody's new and when somebody has been on the job like for a while. All right, y'all, but anyways, let's get into this 4-day. So day 1 is 3 legs. Day 2, 2 legs. Day 3, 2 legs. And day 4 is 3 legs. Now, I don't like 4 days. I don't like 5 days. I don't think I've ever worked a 5-day actually. But I don't like 4 days. I don't like 3 days, because 4 days is just too much. Like, if you have 7 days in a week, I don't feel like it's just not right to not be at home majority of the week. It should be the other way around. Like, majority of your week should not be at work, especially the fact that we're flying away and we're not coming home. That's 4 full days. That's too much. It should be 3 max, because I don't want to say I've been gone majority of the week from my home. I'd rather say, oh, I've only been gone 3 days, not 4 days, you know? But anyways, it's part of the job, so I'm just gonna have to take that L. And it's not like I get 4 days every week. It's just, you know, here and there. So Day one, we go from DFW to Wilmington, North Carolina, right? That was like a 2-hour flight. Let me see. No, 2 hours and 47-minute flight, okay? And we're serving food now. Yeah, I don't know, but prior to me coming to like my first day back, I was off for like 5 days, and it's like a lot can happen in 5 days, because I was like, when do we start serving food? When do we start serving alcohol in the main cabin? And then on top of masks, it's just like so much, like the company has changed so much. It's only been 5 days. So I was just like, okay, we doing this, we doing that. We're giving first class glass cups. I'm like, what? When we start doing that? When? Because I didn't know. I'm just very last minute to everything. But anyways, let me not say that. We have announcements, but I be skimming through them. And that's what happens when you skim through them and you don't fully read it. And then you come to work all shocked because you be skimming. But that's basically what happened. So anyways, we go to North Carolina, right? Drop them people off. That's basically a 3-hour flight. We're supposed to leave to come back to Dallas and then go to Lubbock, Texas. So that was, our report time was at 10 a.m. We were supposed to end at 8:15, right? Okay, so we got to Wilmington, dropped those passengers off. We had the cleaners come on the plane, clean it up, and then we boarded the next group of passengers to take them back to Dallas. So we had to wait about maybe 30 to 40 minutes because we were waiting on fuel. Then the fuel finally got there, and then it had to fuel the aircraft, of course, right? Mind you, we don't get paid for that. So that's just, you know, dead space, sitting pretty and getting tired and not getting paid, okay? So 40 minutes wasted. Then we're about to get ready to go, but the pilot announces that the plane is now too heavy, and he decides that he's going to take all of the check bags that are on the current plane on the next plane that's going out to Dallas. So the passengers on that plane have to wait. If they have a connecting flight, that their luggage should follow them. If they don't, they have to wait until the next plane arrives from Wilmington to Dallas to get their checked bags, which is super inconvenient. Like, I mean, I was like, wow, sucks to be y'all, because what if you were landing in Dallas, but then you were going like an hour away from Dallas? Like, what if you just had other plans that didn't involve waiting on a checked bag? So that was inconvenient, but those are just some of the things that happen. Like, it was either take luggages off the plane or take people off the plane, and nobody wants to get off the plane at this point. So we went with the luggage aspect, took all the luggages off. We surprisingly didn't have any passengers like complaining about that. I think we had one thing that is like a pet peeve is when the instructions are stated clearly, and then there's always that one person that will literally repeat all of the instructions and say, so does that mean I'm not gonna get my bag once I land? Like, girl, yes, you literally just repeated exactly what he said. You are not getting your bags. Your bags are on another plane and you have to wait. Like, what else did you want me to say? So that's kind of annoying, but it's like, you're always gonna have one. You're always gonna have one. So we had one of those. We finally take off. We're in the air. Cool. Mind you, this is a 3-hour, no, this is gonna be a 2-hour flight. 2-hour and like 58-minute flight to head back. So I'm like, woo, okay, we do that flight. Everyone was pretty good. we are like, I don't know, it's been like 3 hours already. And the pilot ends up calling us and he's saying, so we can't land in Dallas yet because the Dallas airport is shut down because of weather. How is the weather so crazy that you gotta shut the airport down? When I just left the airport, I was just at the airport at 10 a.m. and it was like 89 degrees, nice weather, sunny. I'm like, what's going on in Dallas? Apparently the winds, it was way too windy to, you know, take off or land in that area. And of course, we're not gonna try to risk our safety to land and just make everyone happy because anything can happen. So we had to just basically circle in the air, right? So the pilot said we had basically like enough fuel to circle in the air for about 30 minutes. After that, we would have to divert to Louisiana. So he was like, you know, but we shouldn't be sitting in the air for too long. 30 minutes go by, he said, we're gonna have to divert to Louisiana. So we divert to Louisiana. We get to Louisiana. We have been on this plane for, let me pull up my trip sheet, y'all. 3 hours and 56 minutes, okay? That's a long time. The reason why this job, it's like, you know, it's not like the actual job, like, you know, being a sky waitress essentially is not hard. It's the fact that when you think you're gonna get off at 8, like I told you guys, I thought I was gonna get off at 8, and then then you have a delay, and it's like saying, oh, you're supposed to get off I know you're supposed to get off at 8, but now there's a delay, and I don't know how long it's gonna be, but when the delay is over, you still have to complete the rest of your job. So basically there's just so much ambiguity of like, dang, we went from knowing we're gonna get off at 8 to now we don't know when we're gonna be done with this day, because it's all based on whenever we can get these people back, and we still have to take our last turn to Lubbock, Texas. So anyways, we get to Louisiana. Passengers are starting to get a little bit antsy, just a little bit. So we give them some cookies and pretzels to pipe down, a little bit of water to pipe down, like relax, okay? Like, we had to open the door because we had to get more fuel. Once you open the door, we don't get paid no more. So I'm like, honey, trust me, if we had a competition on who don't want to be here, it's me, because I'm not getting paid. So I'm just looking at you for free. I have to service you for free on this plane without getting paid. Like, I'm upset. Like, internally, I'm not like walking around angry, but I'm like, you don't have to tell me how much you don't want to be on the plane. Like, I don't either, especially not for free. So yeah, it was a couple passengers who was like, you know, talking about that, like, do you know when? I was just like, girl, like, sir, I don't know. I'm not sure, we'll keep you updated, you know, the typical BS. And it's like, I don't really like telling people that over and over again. So I just stay in the front, because I'm just like, you know what I'm gonna say. You know I don't have the answer. I'm not flying the plane. I'm not Mother Nature. Like, that is above my scope of the job. Like, I don't know, girl. I just feed you and serve you something to drink. That's it. Like, I'm not sure. And when when a real emergency happens, that's when I step in and tell you to jump or swim or X, Y, and Z. Okay, so we're in Louisiana. We had a couple passengers who wanted to get off the plane and just book another flight with somebody else altogether. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like, I get it. You're over it. You just want to get off the plane. Like, you're just like, I'd rather drive somewhere else, go somewhere. It's like, some people really have a high anxiety, and if we're scheduled to be on the plane for just 2 hours and 58 minutes and it goes to 3 hours and 58 minutes, and then we land in a place that you didn't even want to be in, that can really raise your anxiety, because it's like, what's going on? I don't want to be here. So I understood that. So I asked the pilot, like, okay, can some of the passengers get off who don't want to like be on the plane anymore? They just want to like figure out another route, whether it's driving, another like airline, whatever the case may be. So we get the gate agent and we talk to like basically the management team with the Louisiana airport. Y'all, long story short, they only had flights going to Atlanta and Dallas. It was like maybe 2 flights. They were both full, and they both weren't leaving because like both airports had weather issues going on. They were both closed at the moment. So it was like pretty much, no, you can't get off. You can't book another flight because we're booked. We're like nothing. It was basically no all the way around. Y'all can't get off the plane. And the airport was closed. Like they didn't have any more flights after that. So it was like, you can't go anywhere else. So we stayed on the plane. Everyone stayed on the plane, which they really weren't too antsy. They were like, okay. And I was like, this should not last that long. And the passengers were more concerned about, okay, but if the weather is bad all night, are we gonna stay on this plane all night? I'm like, honey, no, that will never happen. And I can say, they will put y'all in a hotel, because we're not about to sit on a plane overnight. Like that's insane. So everyone was pretty chill. And maybe I would say we were in Louisiana for about 40 minutes. Yeah, 40 minutes. And then finally the Dallas airport finally opened back up. We got on the plane. Well, not we got on the plane, we were already on the plane. We closed the door and we, did our little procedures, and we took off. We went back, and that was only like a 40-minute flight, so it was quick. We get there, we drop everybody off, and then we had to do our last turn to come to Lubbock. So we finally get to Lubbock. It was also bad weather. It was thunderstorms, all that, so we didn't even do service. We did not get to the hotel until 11 p.m. It was a long day. It was a long day. We were supposed to have an hour-and-a-half sit in between coming back from Wilmington to go to Lubbock, but between the fuel and then having to divert and then having to sit and wait, it just really threw off our schedule. And it's like, sometimes in between the sits, I have a lot of refrigerated food. And I'm like, okay, I can heat up that food during my sit and eat lunch, because I don't like to eat my food cold. If it's not meant to be cold, I don't want to eat it cold. So I'm like, dang, I didn't even get to eat my lunch. Thank God I had like a little salad and I had some sushi that was already cold, but I was trying to spread out my cold meals to have 1 cold meal per day, but I had to eat all of them in one day. So I was like, well, that sucked. But that's what happens. Like sometimes, one, bring your lunch, because if I had no lunch, then I would be eating pretzels and Biscoff cookies all day, because I didn't step off that plane not one time since I walked on the plane at 10. Okay, so that was being on the plane from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. That's a long time. That's number one. So thank God I have my food. So just always bring your food, because you just never know. You can have a delay, and that delay can eat up all your time that you were going to have a break. I've even had times where I was supposed to have 3-hour breaks, and I ended up not having a break at all because we had a delay. or there was a weather issue, or there was a mechanical issue. It's just always something. So you just want to have either a protein shake on standby in your lunchbox, a pack of oatmeal, something, like just something besides having a pretzel and Biscoff cookie diet. Also, plan for, bring a jacket, y'all. Why did this thing just come on again? Ah! Like I was saying, sorry, I got interrupted again, but food, bring your struggle meal for just in case you have diversions and you just cannot get off the plane and it becomes a long day. So whether that's a cup of noodles, protein powder that you can mix with hot water to make a protein shake, I don't know, whatever you, a soup, a can of soup, chili, just something. Like, you want to have something, because trust me, cookies and pretzels get old real fast. Like, I don't even eat those pretzels. I haven't had those pretzels since maybe last year, because I'm like, I'm good off the pretzels. Now the Biscoff cookies, I can still eat those, but I also don't overeat them. Like, I probably have maybe 2 per trip, per 4-day trip. So I don't eat them every day. Anyways, bring your lunch. Also, I would say, now that we're not wearing masks, listen, for me, I'm gonna bring a mask, because sometimes, honestly, my face is very expressive. So when I'm over it, it's time to just put a mask on. When I'm not feeling it, protect that resting bee face, okay? Just put the mask on. Just put the mask on. And this leaves the mystery of, like, is she okay? Is she happy? Is she sad? Like, you don't know. You don't know. Because trust me, at that 3rd leg, I was over it. But it was also dark. We turned the lights off because it was dark outside. And I was like, great, because I know my face is looking like I'm over it. So yes, bring your mask for those times. Well, for your safety, one, and to be considerate. I feel like it is considerate to wear your mask when you're taking orders. Just because if someone else is wearing a mask, like, I think it would be respectful to also wear your mask. That's just in my opinion. But for me, you know, safety reasons, and this is like a little do not disturb. Like, if I have my mask on and the other flight attendant doesn't have her mask on, talk to her. Talk to her first. Ask for her help first. Don't ask me because I have my mask on, okay? Do not disturb. That means don't talk to me. The mask on means don't talk to me, okay? Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Okay, like, not even kidding. Like, if I have my mask on, next. No. Yeah. What else? What else do I have for you guys? Any tips that I learned from this one? Oh my God, the waters. We were low key, almost out of waters. Like, I think we had maybe like 3 bottles left. It was intense. I was like, I had a bottle in my suitcase and I was like, I don't know what y'all gonna do, but I'm not about to sit on this plane dehydrated, so sip that cup slow, because I don't know what would have happened if we had to stay there, I don't know, in Louisiana another 2 or 3 hours. Like, not really sure. Oh, and we didn't have any more pretzels. And I think we only had like a few cookies. We were literally out of everything. So that was a little bit intense. But by the grace of God, we made it to come back and get them people off the plane because there was no more service to be given after we had gave them extra cookies and pretzels. Now, being that we came back at 11 o'clock, that had to push down our start time for the next day. So the next day we were supposed to leave at, I don't know, report at like 7 a.m. But because we didn't get in so late, we have to have a like certain number of hours of rest. And listen, I'm not good with that stuff because honestly, I'm not like one of those pull up the rule book trying to get every, I'm gonna be tired regardless if you give me an extra hour. If you're not giving me an extra like 12 hours of sleep, I'm gonna be tired. So I'm not really nitpicky when it comes to like, oh, we need an extra 30 minutes because that 30 minutes not gonna do nothing. I'm gonna be tired. And I'm not a morning person, so I was like, I don't even care at this point. So everybody else in my crew, they were caring about the whole we need to get our hours and all that stuff. So they got that worked out. So our report time went from 7 to 9, and then that means the planes that the like 2 flights that we had the next day, those were also delayed because we had to get our minimum hours of rest. So it's like when you're delayed, it's a ripple effect. Like that's the thing that sucks. So then we're currently on day 2. Our flight is now 2 hours later than the start time. And then we were supposed to have an hour sit in Dallas when we got back to Dallas from Lubbock. But since we were already 2 hours late, there was I could not leave the plane because we had to reboard. And I'm like, dang, I haven't been able to heat my food up in 2 days now. So, oh, and there wasn't a microwave in the refrigerator that we stayed at last night, but also I wasn't hungry. I just went straight to bed. But it's like, see, it's like I have all this food that needs to be heated up and I have not had a chance to heat it up. We are approaching the end of day 2. And I still haven't had any of my meals that I should be heating up. So that's why it's like better to bring meals that are cold, like chicken salad, tuna, sushi, things like that. Or if you like to eat cold food. I don't like to eat cold food. Like, girl, I'll just drink some water because I'm not doing that. But nonetheless, be prepared for delays, okay? And yeah, that's how it works. This is day 2. I am here, and this could slick be my second home. Bismarck? Yeah, I'm here once again. Bismarck, North Dakota. It is so unappealing here. I was gonna say no shade, but no, all shade to anyone who's from here. I'm so sorry, because it's not a vibe here at all. You know, another thing, side note with masks, like, wait, let me take that back about North Dakota. I haven't even really explored, so there may be some stuff that's like worth living here, but I just haven't explored it yet, so I'm gonna take that back. It might be a vibe here, but I've only been here in the winter time. And it's April and there's snow outside, y'all, and it's cold. It's cold. So I don't know what the summers are like here, but you know, I come here at least once a month, so I'm sure I'll be here over the summer and I can tell y'all all about it. Anyways, jumping back to what I was gonna talk about, the mask mandate being lifted, you know, I'm not gonna lie. I went into work being super excited that I don't have to wear my mask, but now I'm kind of like, dang, I miss the mask, because it was just a level of mystery. Like, when somebody has their mask on, it's like, ooh, what's under the mask? I wonder what their nose and mouth looks like. Like, you just, it's like that, like, you only see this part, and then you only hear their voice, and you're just like, okay, he or she seems like a nice person. Like, I wonder what they look like. And now we're back to seeing everything all at once, and it's like, wow. You know, you just don't appreciate someone when you see everything at once. Mask was given modesty, was it not? I think it was. Like, if you made it this far in the video, because I have done a rant today. So if you made it this far, put a white heart. Put a white heart. And also, if you agree that the mask gave a little bit of mystery, a little bit of a little bit of like, you gotta really get to know the person, because you don't see everything. So, you know, you can't even really judge a book by its cover, because you don't even see the full cover. But now you see everything, and it's like, if you're not impressed, what do? I'm gonna start wearing my mask on the plane again. I'm gonna start doing that some flights. I'm just gonna do a personal experiment, see how people treat me with the mask. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Okay, I got it. I'm going to wear my mask in the beginning of the flight, and then take it off when people are leaving, and see how people act. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that study, and I'm gonna get back with you guys about how do people act when you don't have a mask and when you do have a mask, because I think that's important. And I want it to be a close study. Like, I don't want to do it with different people. I want to do it with the same, what do you call those people? The same subjects, the same participants. I can't think of the word. Obviously, I'm not a scientist, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get back with you guys on that. Anyways, my little rant is coming to an end. I think I'm gonna go for a walk. Psych, it's snowing. It's literally snow outside. I'm not going for a walk. It's cold. I think I'm gonna go get on a treadmill. You know, health is wealth. And yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then I'll probably try to edit a video, and then finally heat up some food. And I'm gonna go to bed probably at 8 p.m. because our report time is 5:40, and I'm not a morning person, so I'm gonna try to do my part and go to sleep early, so I'll be ready and, you know, in good spirits. But, you know, if not, I have my handy dandy mask that I can wear and cover my face up. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Talk to me in the comments. Let me know how you like the hotel. Let me know, how is life like without a mask? How is it if you're traveling? And how is it as a flight attendant if you are a flight attendant? And also, if you're in training right now, are y'all still wearing masks, or do y'all take the mask off? Like, how does that work? And do y'all have roommates now? Because if you do, sucks to suck. But let me know, because I'm curious. All right, guys, see you in the next video. Bye.